今永昇太選手素晴らしい投球でしたね。5回1安打無失点、ストレートのコントロースが冴え渡っていました。 PCA 選手の好プレーがあったりと守備も堅かったですね。本日は今永昇太選手が出場した試合のポストゲームショーをご覧ください。
Who that?
Shota Imanaga.
Yeah,
he was
did.
out there and he
As
had business from the very onset of the contest for him to make his triumphant return since May 4th. We're giving it to you piece by piece, every single out. Cliff, my man, was dialed in. And how about that? First play, that's the play that sidelined him.
That was it, right? Get it out the way, right? And that's the first thing you want. I mean, look at the pitch location. I said it in the pregame. It was about location. You know, then you have the athleticism from your boys in the field. Nico going to making a play. And just put the ball in play. I mean, It was easy. Nobody had to run to the wall. It was coming in, catch the baseball, and deuce. Weak contact throughout the whole day. They missed some pitches that possibly they want back, but that's what you do. You're 0 for 5 runners in scoring position. That's not going to get it done, especially not against Shota. And a lot of it didn't even come with Shota on the mound. It came later in the game against the relievers. But he was just throwing pitch by pitch where he wanted to.
Sure.
And then everybody with the defense and how they were aligned was on point. Just in, out. And we always talk about this, Cole. You're not overpowering. You can only miss there so many times.
Sure.
That's 92 down into a righty. But making these pitches, every inning allowed him to get into a good groove, a good rhythm, kept his poise all day. He gave some love to Carson Kelly on the way off the field. Just what you needed. Boy, bye. Get out of here. I'll see you next time.
Much
Look,
series splits on show today. Contreras still mouthing off as he leaves the field. You got to be here for it, yeah. A beast incarnate knows all about that. Do you think there was an elevated sense of urgency for Shota Imanaga to make that return and to pitch well because it was against the St. Louis Cardinals and he wasn't derailed a few days and said, okay, your comeback's going to be against Houston? Not the same amount of juice, is there?
No, but I think this is why you kind of navigate through how you're going to bring guys back, and knowing that Shota was ready to come back and knowing that everything, was sort of now under the rug, right? You can move on. You can move on from the hamstring. You built his arm up. You allowed him to go out and make a couple starts in the minors. And when you put this board up, look at this.
Do you like the 48 four-seamers? That means he's trying to dot location-wise.
Well, when you have a feel for it, you can dot, right? Because it's not going to be overpowering. It's going to be 92. We saw it, 92, 93. He got away with it because he actually hides the ball really well for a guy who doesn't throw 95, 96. He throws 92, so he knows what he has to do. But when you retire 15 dudes, I mean, and you've seen the swings throughout. We sat there and watched it. The swings just looked like they hadn't seen Shota ever in their career. But Shota is that type of dude. When he walks in yesterday, he showed him on the bench on our network. They're showing him, and he was just calm, cool, and collect, like just taking it in a regular game, not charting anything, but kind of just getting his thoughts together, sitting at the end of the bench, watching the game with the boys.
Giving the Cardinals an ocular pat-down.
Yeah, well, and understanding that, this goes through him. He is the actual ace of the squad, right?
Yeah.
Matt Boyd has been really good. We've seen J-Mo be really good, of his last 7 starts, 5 have been really good for J-Mo. So I just think when you have Shota the way he is right now coming through the doors, then everything else can kind of slot into the place they need to be.
Yeah, Shota Imanaga, he was as good as advertised in that triumphant return. His first start since May 4th, 77 pitches, 49 strikes. And since we're being very formal about it and he was able to dot, we're calling him S. Imanaga. Here's Craig Counsell with more on his Aces Day.
Yeah, I mean, just how he kind of controlled the environment. Nothing looked like he'd been out there, every single start. And I think there's a tendency to get a little overamped in a start like that. And I thought he controlled his effort level really well, his energy really well, and that caused a lot of really good execution.
When you see him execution locating the heater like he was to start the games, what's that telling you?
Yeah, I mean, I think right away it told us that he was just not going to try to overdo it, and I think that's the natural tendency on a first start back in this situation. Stay within yourself. I thought he did a really good job of that.
Craig giving everyone the stiff It looks like squints in the middle of Daniel Palencia's chest. That's right. D. Fumar, because he's all about that smoke. That's right. Pure dog each and every single step of the way. And the fellas, well, they are getting out of boring town with immediacy. They are ready to roll. They're not trying to hit that rooftop like T-Mac. They're trying to get on the road and get themselves some more W's in Houston. But before they do, Cliff and I are going to let you know how it all went down in Game 4. That's next, right here, when it comes Postgame Live.
まあ、幸せなことに、チームがこれまでいい戦いをしてくれたおかげで、僕のリハビリから復帰した登板ではなくて、まずこのセントルイスとの戦いを2勝2敗で、にするんだっていうそういう気持ちで臨めたので、それはすごく良かったと思います。
その前回、怪我を起きたプレーの似たようなプレーで、一塁カバーのプレーがその最初のバッターだったっていうのに対して、喜びを感じました。
そうですね、そこで、しっかり冷静にあれだけを処理できたので、僕もほっとしましたし、チームとしてもほっとしたのかなと思います。
その前回、怪我する前からの登板を、続けた感じで、それを継続する感じで、投球をしてたように見えたんですけど、そのちょっとマウンドから時間が離れてたんで、そういう感覚が鈍ったとか、そういうのはありましたか？
まだ全てのボールを完璧に操れているわけではなかったので、味方の守備もたくさんいいプレーがありましたし、でキャッチャーのケリーもものすごくいいリードをしてくれたので、本当に、自分が良かったというよりかは周りに本当にいいに救われたなと思いますね。
Shota and Edwin locked in post game as well as during the game. And you see right here, back-to-back outings from your pair of aces. Matthew Boyd, 6 strong, 3 hits. That's Shota, 5 innings, 1 hit. Both goose eggs in the runs department, and that is what you're hoping to continue to hang your hat on as the season progresses towards that finish line, as well as the trade deadline, because that's when the reinforcements could be rolling in. A 3-0 win over St. Louis, splitting the series right down the middle. W flags, they are a-flying, and Cubs fans, they are a-smiling. And we're going to tell you,
150キロ前後のフォーシームが77球中48球というのはすごい割合ですよね。基本が150キロ後半のボールであればわかりますが、このスピードで大半がフォーシームというのは今永選手の凄さを感じましたね。インコース高めのコントロールなどビタビタに決まっていましたもんね。そしてカブスとしてはこれで2位と3ゲーム差、10月のポストシーズンへ向けていい感じに来ていますね。5月6月と投手事情はかなり苦しかったものの、残った選手がしっかりと結果を出し首位キープです。鈴木選手も打率は2割5分ですが、大事なところでホームランを打ったりとしっかりチームに貢献していますので、活躍には目が離せませんね。本日もご視聴ありがとうございました。チャンネル登録、高評価よろしくお願いいたします。